Hello everyone. Today is July 16th, 9:30. Now I'm going to get the link and share. Okay, so I shared the link and let's see. So Amazon, wow, it spiked from 192 to 159. Okay, I cleared Tesla put. Uh, I cleared Amazon put as well. Losing too much money here. I'm holding on to Intel put. 어, 지성아. 어, 어. 지금 보냈어. Okay, so cleared Intel as well. Semis are semis are dropping. QQQ QQQ recovering, but it's Doesn't make sense. It looks very weak, by the way. The semis look very weak. About Canadian market, how about TD? So TD started the day with negatives, going down. Shopify, Shopify went up by 5%-ish today. Oh, it continues. Okay. Then I'm going to try Shopify. Oh, the market is very shaky today. Handing over all the gains. Tesla dropping, Amazon dropping, it's giving up all the gains. Will it flush one more time at 500? Let's look at TLT. TLT holding up. That's interesting. TLT looks like it's about to break out as well. So a TLT is the treasury bond, like long-term treasury bond. If TLT goes up, that means the rates are going to go down. And if this one drops, that means the rates are going up. 20 years rate that is. And I think it's pretty volatile too. Today, the retail data came out to be pretty strong. Okay. GME is going crazy. Because GME moved by 4 or 5%, their options are pricing at a ridiculous price. In this case, it's a little bit too late to touch the options. Yeah, it looks very weak. Um, Tesla 260 gave up all the gains down to yesterday's lows. AMD going up very slowly. Intel is recovering, but it looks weak. QQQ sleeping down. It looks like a general market sale. So I got AMD put. AMD looks weak today as well. Shopify. So about Shopify, so let's do some technical analysis. So for long term, we are looking at Shopify to trend up. The reason being is so from the chart perspective, without looking at all these technicals, it dropped down and then it tickled up, dropped down, tickled up, dropped down, and the low is making higher lows and the highs are making higher highs. With Shopify, the next stop, so right now it's trying to go through the resistance. If this goes through the ceiling, so if Shopify, sorry, I just bought Shopify calls for expiring next month. So if it does go through, so let's say it goes through here, which it's in the process of doing, it's already pretty much done. If it does go through, then the next stop will be here. Now, how do I know this time is going to go through? Now, this is where the technical analysis can get a little bit tricky because here it's indicating that it did not go it did not go higher. That means it did not breach. Okay. At this point, whenever this white line crosses the red line, it's time to sell. But it could be a little bit tricky could be a little bit tricky. Sometimes it tells you after it's happened. Sometimes it'll tell you before it begins. Okay. Now, the reason why I think this one will go up higher is because one, the resistance is broken. Oh, wait, let's go to paint. So I'm looking at about a month out. So this is monthly chart, right? So if I draw a line, so this is the line where people would have been very scared to hold the stock because it breached down the support. So it breaks down the support. And then if you look at MACD, it's literally telling you to sell. But when it went to, so from May 6th, it was screaming sell. From May 29, it crosses MACD confirms, and you're about to cross the lower band. And so this is when people were seeing, okay, this is a sign to get in. And the stock prices have climbed since then, went up, and trying to recover now. It's on the top of Williams after it breached. So after it went up, I see another cross up, which is the bullish sign. Now, for the last 2 weeks or so, MACD had been very strong. It's been very strong. That means there is a lot of buying consolidating activity before it's making its way up. And sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. But when you see the start of the green candles, that's when you kind of see the new trend of going green. Now, sometimes the trend itself is showing up as green, red, 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 green, red, red, red. But if you look at the stock price during that time, it's actually an uptrend, right? So based on this, what I think Shopify will do in the near term is that it's going to probably breach and up higher and go to the next resistance. Now there is uh, 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 what is it? There is a percentage that will show how where the ceiling is. is that? I forgot what it's called. There is a tool where you can just draw on the stocks to find out where the support and resistance is. Fiban, Fibonacci. Fibonacci indicator. It seems like we don't have it. Hmm. Okay. If we don't have it, then we can look, we can use some other indicator to find it. We can use Ichimoku cloud. Okay, there you go. So what this cloud does is it tells you, oh, I'm going to get rid of, so I'm going to get rid of EMA and everything and just look at Ichimoku. Okay. So what this indicator does is it tells you where to buy and where to sell and where not to buy or sell. So if the stock price is within this cloud, so within the red line and green line, then it's a hold. Now, if it goes out, then it could be a sell or it could be a buying opportunity for those that actually like risks. Okay. If it goes out, that means also that it's time to get out, or if you like risk, you can stay. So that's with that being said, let's look at an example. So let's look at this example. So when the stock price is breached down, outside is clouds. It tend to go up, okay? And when it's outside of the clouds, it tend to drop down and try to stay within the cloud. Now, this is also within the past history of the stocks. So we don't know how the future will unfold, but it's a good indicator that if it goes out of the cloud, then um, it's time to either buy or sell. So in this case here, and out of the cloud, it looks like it's going to go out of the cloud here. But if it does go out of the cloud, this indicator will change because it's based on the past history. Okay, it got narrow, so the clouds got narrow because it had the consolidation period in between. Whenever it has a consolidation period in between, like in here, the cloud actually gets narrower until it makes a move, and then the cloud gets bigger and bigger. Okay, okay, so that's that. So how do I pick the stocks um, that I think will go up or go down? think it I think it's pretty simple for me. It's pretty simple for me in a way that I'm always looking for stocks that are either up high, so it went up recently, or went down recently. If it does go up, so if stocks had a recent run up, that means, oh wow, Tesla went down by a lot. So I closed Tesla early this morning thinking that it would skyrocket, and now, wow, I could have made over, that's a $4, $5 difference. That's $2,500. Wow, I could have made $2,500 on this. Amazon, not too much, but same thing. Looks like stocks are selling, but I'm holding AMD, so let's see how that unfolds. Okay, either way, how do I know whether I should buy stocks or not, or how do you do the swing trade? It's pretty simple. I just look for a stock, any stock that had recently had a run up or recently had a run down. Like for example, Nike. So if I look at not Jamie, Intel, I don't need to look at Intel anymore. So let's look at Nike. So Nike, if I look at 1 year chart, recent high was 120. And then after two earnings, so there was one earning, and then there was another earnings. Uh, actually, three earnings, yeah. One earning, two earning, and three earnings, yeah. After three earnings, Nike went down from 120 to 72. That is, so let's say when I entered, it was $76. So it went from 76 by 120. How much was it? High, 122. So it went down by 38%. So it had a 40% drop in 3 quarters. Okay. Now, I think about what might have caused this stock to drop almost 40%. Let's think about it. So I need to look at what was the PE look like. So that's 2023 December, yeah? 2023 December. So it doesn't have the data, but it looks like the PE ratio was 32, okay? And if you look at earning per share, December actually went up by a lot. Mhm. But anyways, P ratio looks like around 32. 2022. So it only has up to 2022. 23 PE. Okay, let's say PE 34, 33. So PE at the high was roughly about 33. Okay. And then let's look at these are the valuation measures. So these are the financials of the company. Okay. So from uh, uh, perspective of whether the stock is more expensive or got cheaper, um, I'm looking at price per sales. So this is $3.30. So the financials didn't really change too much. So let's see. Nike financials. Okay. So now I'm looking at, so these are the quarterly financial statements. So this is where it was at the peak because it was December, and then you start to drop down. Yeah. So let's see. Let's look. Okay. So in November, total revenue, of course, yeah. Cost of revenue was high as well. Let's look at operating income. Da, 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 da. So their pre-tax income has dropped. Earning per share dropped. But then it's not a fair consideration because now you have to look at, you have to compare the same quarter. Okay, how about year? Okay, year by year. Okay. So before Nike was growing, 2020 Nike was booking $1 and then became 360 and then it became 380 and then became 372. So it was growing and revenue is higher. And operating income, it was negative before and now it's positive. So the financials were improving for Nike. Things were getting better. Yeah, things were getting better. And then it had a recent quarter, uh, 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 recent statement. So recent quarter revenue declined, net income. Okay, diluted EPS. Diluted EPS is up. Profit margin is up. Operating income. Yeah, so compared to 2023 May, it looks like went up. It's just that the revenue is dropped by 2%. Doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. But it gave a forecast. Nike gave a forecast. Um, let's look at investor relations. So let's look at their data. Quarterly earnings, investor news, earnings, fourth quarter result, schedule. Okay, so let's look at the conference call. Okay. Okay, so the CEO going revenue growth was per share. Earnings per share grew 15%, flat quarter, strong gains, performance offset by decline in lifestyle. Okay, lifestyle. Okay, so it's blaming the macro uncertainty worsening foreign exchange. So it reduced the guidance for 2025. Nike Digital declined 10% in the quarter. There's a softer traffic. So Nike revenue, the total revenue is down 2%. Nike Direct, so that's online sale down 7%. Nike Store, that's a retail store, is down. Nike Digital, 10% down. Um, Wholesale grew 8%, so it's building a stronger relationship with the commercials. Wholesale grew. It could mean a lot of different things. So if things do not sell well, they dump their merchandise to somebody else, and that's what we call the wholesale. Or it could mean a sale to retailer. I mean, not retailer, the commercials. Okay. Saying margin went up. Strategic price actions, lower ocean freight. Sorry. Okay, I want to see the forecast. Okay, so it doesn't say how much it dropped. Doesn't show. Oh, here. So we see the reason why it dropped significantly compared to 2023 um, and 2024. Now you see here their net income here. So their net income in 2023 has dropped significantly to this much, but 2023 May was lower. It was on the path of recovery because if you look here, 2024 May, in between here, their sales were going nuts. So their stock prices got inflated because their net income got inflated by so much. And um, in order for the same thing to happen for the rest of the year for Nike, it needed a stronger guidance. It needed a strong guidance, but they actually reduced the guidance for upcoming quarter and the year, and that have caused Nike to drop. Now, is it was it worth a 40% drop? I'm not too sure, um, because if you really think of it, I don't think it's I don't think it's um, worth a 40% drop because Nike still holds the number one position for um, all the sportswears. And if I ask people, okay, do you want Adidas or Nike? Uh, it's always Nike. It has the brand image. It's like Apple. Okay, so in between, I just sold um, AMD puts. I got out mainly because it just hit the resistance. I don't know if it can continue to drop. So it will drop more. So AMD is dropping more. How much did it drop? Okay, AMD dropped 3% so far. Okay, so this is also a good example. So this is also a good example. I'm looking at just daily, yeah? At this point, sorry, I'm just looking at some stocks. It looks like QQQ is going to bounce up. I'll show you why. Okay, so QQQ should reverse its course and go up at this point. The reason is you might want to look at the indicators. So this is Ichimoto and EMA, VWAP. Here, MACD that had a reversal in the selling trend, and at this point here, so it went out of the cloud, and now this thing wants to come in. We're at this squeeze area where all the lines look like they're about to cross. But this is for 1 minute, okay? If it does go up, I would assume that it's going to land somewhere here. Okay, it's possible to hit this area and go up higher even more, but this will be the first resistance if it bounces. And let's see if it does happen. And it does. And this was the first resistance. So let's see. Yep, it does. So it got very close to touching it, and then it looks like it's reversing. Selling pressure is very high. At this point, I would sell because this one is reversing again. This is day trading, of course. Yeah. So that's 1 minute. That's 1 minute chart. Let's look at 1 day chart. Okay. So this is 1 day chart. Okay. From the Ichimoto cloud, it went outside. So highly likely that it's going to travel down. Ichimoto had been pretty much saying that it's time to sell since here, but it continued to go up. Here, it had a reversal of buying and selling pressure, which is here. So it's asking people to enter short. Okay, the selling pressure is increasing, and there is a high chance. So Ichimoto is also screaming sell, screaming sell, screaming sell, screaming sell. So that's daily. If it drops, it will drop to where the red is, and that would be what is this point? Around 170. 180, 170. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to. We don't know if this is true or not, right? So the only thing that we can do is wait for a good entry. We know, like, based on the daily chart, it's going to pull back to 480 something at one point. That's what the chart is screaming. Even the 1 minute chart, um, it's screaming sell at this point. At this point, it is showing some strength of pushing up. So we don't, if you want, we don't have to enter. But the feel of the market is always different from the technical indicators. Like in here, because technical indicator is a display of the past data, you can just drop and then the reversal will be made. But you can drop like up to here. You can drop all the way down. You can drop all the way down. And you'll be like, oh, it's time to enter. But then it already went down and you lost the chance of getting the profit. So if you rely on the technical indicators, sometimes you'll miss out on um, bigger profit. Here it crossed again.
있으니까 바로 이어서 한번 달려볼까요? 머니를 불렀으니 이번에는 오빠로 한번 달려보도록 하겠습니다. 여러분 준비하세요.
So that's the technical indicators. But I don't like technical indicators too much because um, it kind of prohibits you from making a good decision, I would say. Because sometimes you want to enter, but the technical indicators do not confirm, and you're kind of like, should I enter? Should I not? Should I enter? Should I not? And then you miss out on the chance. That's how I feel. For day trading, it's better to just look at um, it's better to look at just the charts. Um, but if it makes you more comfortable, especially when you're scalping, you can do 30 seconds and then put you don't need Ichimoku um, because like if you look at minutes of time, it doesn't move too much on up and down, up and down. You need EMA though. Okay, so this it's telling you that QQQ is going to go up higher. It's crossing. Okay, so based on technical indicators, it's a push. Push for how long? Let's look at, let's add. So if the swing index is high, um, no, this is not a good indicator. Indicator. No, 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 no. Bollinger. Okay. So Bollinger is a good indicator on when to sell, when to buy. It's like when to get out. In this case, because we're doing the 30 seconds, it's a scalping, right? Looks like there are some buying activities. It's trying to push down, but it can't. Looks like QQQ is going up higher. Yeah, you see here, the technical indicator was saying buy, and when it crossed, you buy. So that's like around here. And then, yes, there was a dip, but on the dip, it's saying no, it still has a lot of buying powers, so you don't sell. Now, it reached the top of the bowling band, so that's when you take profit. But without looking at these technicals, I can say you enter from here. It's a risky move, whether it can go up higher or down, up to you, but your profit could have been much higher at this point. It looks like QQQ wants to recover up to a certain point. Let's see how AMD looks. It's trying to make its way up. There's a cup and handle forming. If it drops, it's time to enter. So cup and handle is a technical pattern that you can find. It's a cup and handle forming. From the pattern perspective, you can look at it as two ways. It's trying to break the bottom, but it can't. It's trying to break the ceiling, it can't. So it's kind of trapped. You don't know where it's going to go. But MACD is getting stronger and stronger. It's all green, green, green. That means it's the buying pressure is high. It's building up. Okay. Okay, so there's the indicator to sell. But the selling pressure is getting, so it was high here, right? It was like sell, 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 sell. But then on the second time it was selling, it got not as bad, you know? That means the buying pressure, there is a lot of buying pressure here. Now it's trying to build up on the selling pressure, but highly likely that it will be around the same as here. The technical indicator is still not giving me a go. The technical indicator is giving me a go. Okay, so MACD cross. This is a buying zone. Like I said, the selling pressure is getting smaller and smaller. Looks like a cup and handle. Okay, it's breaching up. Since this is breaching up, I would say, so it doesn't show on the technical indicator, but based on the chart, if it goes up, will go up to 496. Yeah, that's a dollar move from here. Now it hit the top of Ichimoto cloud and is trying to come down. Okay, it's trying to climb back up. It should have no problem to 496. Should have no issue whatsoever until 496. Oh, my screen froze. Oh no. Oh no, I can't see anything. Okay, something wrong with this. So this was the chart that we're looking at, the QQQ chart. So like I said, it should have no problem going to 496. Okay. Okay, so here I sold. Now I'm just gonna wait until it drops a little bit. When it drops, it should drop to this point here. Whoa, whoa, what was that? Okay, so I entered put for QQQ. The technical indicator is showing that it's losing its strength at this point. It can come down to test here, 495.11, or it can come all the way down to check on the bottom. For 95.12. Okay, looks like it's coming down to test on 495. Okay, so MACD cross. Hmm. Looks like the buying pressure is real. It didn't even come all the way down here before it bounced. Okay, so while we wait for this to happen, so while we wait for this to happen, let's update. Okay, so today Tesla I sold 7.55. Amazon sold 1.43. Intel I sold 0.75. Nike I'm still holding. Jamie I'm still holding. Enter Shopify, call 4.65. Shopify, so I bought 5. Okay, so AMD, I turned to 4. 5.15, exited at 6.45. QQQ 10.29, 1.76. I turned QQQ 10, 1.04. Okay, so that's okay. So it got up to here, and let's see. Okay, time to get out. QQQ. So there's the selling pressure, but the price is not dropping. Okay, so I got out of QQQ. Okay. Is it frozen again? Oh my gosh. Okay. So the selling pressure continues. Okay, so there's the drop. It says the selling pressure is high at this point, but the stock price is not really moving. That means if there is a reversal of buying pressure from selling pressure, the QQQ will fly up. Oh, there's the drop. It, it's saying that the selling pressure is very high at this point. There's a chance that it will not push up, but it will continue. Higher chance of going down than continuing up. But if it bounces, then it will bounce very fast. Because during the selling pressure here, it didn't really drop. Although it's pushing up, the MACD indicator is saying the selling pressure is still high. Now it's going to for at some point it's going to meet up and consolidate, but that's what the indicator says. Now, if you look at the chart pattern, this is pretty much uh, this is where it was kind of consolidating before. So when it breached down here, when it breached down the support, you know, either it will go up or go down. Now, based on what I saw here, based on what I saw here and here, there is a room for QQQ to run up higher. However, that's for 30 seconds, right? If you change it to, let's say, 4 hours, yeah, this is how the chart looks like. And it can go up and down, up and down. We are actually at here where the selling pressure is continuing. So it's actually wise for you to bet on the stock prices dropping than stock prices going up at any given time during the day trade. So instead of betting on the stock prices going up, it's more wise to bet that stock prices will drop. So whenever it reaches here, it's better to buy puts. Now I have to be at somewhere. I need to be at somewhere, so I need to go. But I'll be watching the stock market. Now, um, if you, I think Christian asked for the swing trade. I think it's better for me to um, go in detail when the stock market is not open because when the stock market is open, I get distracted and I cannot really do anything when the market is open because I still need to, trade. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. I will, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.